Hey you ladies, today is already August 2nd and this video is a recap to talk about what I've been doing since cycle day 3. So I decided not to do a 2-week symptom. I've been doing them for the past few months where I talk about my symptoms over the 2-week wait and what I feel, how I feel, new symptoms, old symptoms and all that. But I decided not to do this because I found it is a bit stressful when you symptom spotting. So every time you write down a symptom or you talk about it, you pay attention to it, there's always something else coming after that, something else. So I thought I want to be stress-free. This 2-week wait, trust me, it is not easy. It will never be easy on your 2-week wait when you're trying to conceive. So I decided not to do one this cycle. If anything happened, I will talk to you about them. I don't know how I will be able to tell you everything because I do not write anything down. Trust me, I have a couple of symptoms that I could write down, but I'm not writing anything down. So in the next couple of weeks, I probably will be talking about them, whether I get pregnant or not. I'm just looking in the back here. Look at this mess, guys. So if you're watching my video for the very first time, I am on vacation. We're leaving in another 2 weeks. So this is stuff we're getting ready. We've been on vacation for 6 weeks. We've been living in this place for 6 weeks. We're going back home to Canada on the 19th. So don't mind that mess in the back. It's the way we live. It's like living in your suitcase. So anyway, so this video is to talk about what I did. Yes, I did a video like that already to talk about the self-medicated cycle that I did, but I want to recap, put everything into one video. I'm going to try to see if I can have this video in less than 20 minutes. I did a video before, just a few minutes ago, and the lighting outside was bright and cloudy because it's a weird day out. So I had to erase it and make a new one. Now I'm inside. So guys, what I did a self-medicated cycle. I've been trying to get pregnant for the past 16, 18 months, a year and a half. And I had a couple of faint pregnancy tests, but never anything. I never had a miscarriage. I never had anything. I have not seen a specialist yet. I've been seeing my gynecologist in Canada, and I did a couple of cycles with Femera, and nothing happened. I am 41 years old. I have 2 kids, 15 and 12. So somebody is probably asking, why am I trying to have another baby so late? I always wanted to have another child. My husband is much older than I am, and after we gave birth to our second child, we decided without saying anything that it would be it, because he was always saying when his kids go to college, he will be 80 years old, he will be whatever. So without saying anything, I thought it would be best that, you know, we don't try anymore, simply because I felt and understand where it was coming from. Because he was married before me and he never had biological kids. So my son, 15, is his first biological son. He's in love with those kids. I mean, he's the best that I could have ever hoped for. But he is about 20 something years older than I am. So I thought, yes, I understand, because he said he will never be able to see when the kids get married. It is hard. So we didn't do anything, but I always wanted to have 1 or 2 more kids, but I never said anything to him. I was always very sad and always thinking about it. I would go to bed sometimes crying, because I know that was it for me and that I would never have another child. When I was 30, turned 34, turned 36, and I knew the days, the years were flying by, and I knew my chances of getting another kid was getting slimmer and slimmer. So last year I decided to talk to him about it. I couldn't take it anymore, and I told him that I always wanted to have another child. I never said anything, and simply because I know how he feels about his age and all that. So a big turnaround, and he said, I wouldn't mind, I love my boys, I would do anything for them, and I wouldn't mind having another child. See what I'm talking about, guys? Now I'm all bright and shiny. Looks like I have tons of makeup on. It's the sun that's shining through now. So anyway, and after we talked about that for a good, 5 hours straight, the kids were at school and he's retired. So after a long talk, we decided, okay, let's give it a shot. I was 40 years old. I was turning 40. I was already 40. So we said, okay, let's give it a shot. So this is where I'm at. I turned 41 in January. So I've been trying a few things with isoflavone, and I did Femera with my doctor. So last July or last December, my husband told me to hurry up, buy a ticket, let's go to the Dominican Republic for the summer, because we've been coming here for the past 4 or 5 years. And I told him I don't want to buy a ticket, I don't want to make plans to come to the Dominican next summer, because I might be pregnant, I might even have a little baby. That was last July. And he said, just buy it anyway. If anything happens, we'll deal with it. But for now, buy the ticket, because the earlier you buy your ticket, the better it is, the cheaper you would buy it. So just to shut him up, I bought the tickets for us 4. So here I am in the Dominican, still not pregnant. You go figure. That's what infertility will do to you. Don't make any plan, Infertility is doing everything it needs to do. It's, dictating whatever is going on. So anyway, I'm here. I'm happy to be here, and I'm glad I'm here. So I came here, and I don't have a doctor here. I don't have anybody here. Somebody told me that there is a specialist in Santiago, and I honestly didn't want to be driving all the way to Santiago every week to see a doctor. I knew the stress would kill me. I suffer from Addison disease. I don't think I have ever said that. My adrenal gland, especially on my left side, doesn't work at all. It makes me, the last time I had a really bad episode with it. Half of my face was paralyzed. I had Bell's palsy because of my adrenal gland. So anyway, so I didn't want to bring much more stress into my life, so I decided I would not look for fertility treatment in Santiago. It is only two hours away, but I didn't want to do that. Let me turn you guys a little bit here. Okay, that's better. Well, not better, but anyway. So anyway, I came here, so I found out you can buy any type of medication you need. If you can write it down, if you can spell it out, they will sell it to you. So that's how I started doing a self-medicated cycle, because when I came here thinking I'm not gonna do anything, because before I came here, the month I came here in June, I had a chemical pregnancy. I had a faint positive for 2 days and it went back to negative. So I was so frustrated. I said, I'm not gonna try. I'm just gonna go there and relax and enjoy my vacation. And I'm still relaxing and still enjoying my vacation. I'm not working. I'm not doing anything. I've been here for 5 weeks already. I am still enjoying it, but I decided to do the cycle with Clomid simply because I can buy my medication and I can go for ultrasound. You know, if you have money here, that's what counts. You have money, you can buy anything you want. So what I did, I started my period. I have my tablet with me because I cannot remember things. I just can't. So I had my period on July 15th. So I started Clomid on cycle day 3. Cycle day 3, I took 50 milligram. Cycle day 4, I did another 50 milligram. In cycle day 5 to 7, I did 100 milligrams of Clomid. So the thing with Clomid is, I knew from the beginning, when you take Clomid, it dries up your cervical mucus, it thin out your uterine lining and all that. I knew that from the beginning. That's why when I did Femera in Canada, I asked for Femera. I didn't want to do Clomid because of that, because I read a lot of things about Clomid. It was not good on your uterine lining. So I couldn't find Femera here, and I already did 2 cycles of Femera and I was tired of it. I didn't want to do Femera. Femera gave me a lot of headache, a lot of hot flashes too, but headaches, I had headaches for weeks, so I didn't want to do it anymore. So I'm gonna talk a little bit faster. It's already 12 minutes. So I decided to do Clomid. So the day after I finished Clomid, my cervical mucus dried up very quickly. I mean, it was so surprising to me to see changes so fast. And I was hot. I mean, hot like I have never been before. I had to have the AC on at all time. My clothes, when I take them off, I could feel the heat coming out of them. I mean, it was crazy. But I didn't have headache at all. It was, my cervical mucus was completely dry, and I was hot all the time, and I was moody. Oh my God, I was so moody. I was just grouching and at my kids. I was snapping on them. Anything somebody says, I was I didn't like that at all, and I'm sure the kids, they didn't like that. My husband didn't appreciate that, but you know what, it is what it is. So anyway, so I did my whole 3 to 7 Clomid, and the day after I stopped taking it, cycle day 8, I went for my ultrasound. I wanted to know what's going on since the very beginning, because here it's not like you go to your doctor, they do 1 or 2 ultrasound. That's what my doctor did to me. I did, the most I had was 2 ultrasound in 1 cycle to check on my follicles, and I couldn't even see the screen. The screen was behind me. I hated it because I'm not stupid. I know a little bit. So, you know, let me see. Let me, you know, if I see, I may not even ask you anything, but it was way in the back. But here, when I found that lab, it's beautiful, it's clean, and it's a well-renowned lab, and it's not cheap. I could easily find another place cheaper, but cheap is not always the best. So I decided to go with the most expensive lab. So I went there. Yes, I know people would say, you know, an ultrasound is an ultrasound. No, an ultrasound is not just an ultrasound. When you have the person who's doing it can make all the difference. Yes, the picture will be the same, but the person who's doing it, if he knows what he's doing, you know, that will make a big change, because the person who did my ultrasound. She is a gynecologist. I know I don't have a doctor here, so a little bit of input from her, I know it will help. So I decided to go there. So on cycle day 8, I went there, and that was Wednesday, July 22nd. I went there and I had 3 follicles on my right. One was the dominant. It was 9 millimeters. It was 9.1 millimeters. And on my left, I had a couple of little guys going on. I think it was 5. The dominant on my left side was at 5 millimeters. So my lining was only 4 millimeters. Bad news. So I'm not sure if you can see it here, guys. So that was my big follicles on my right side. That was what did I say it was? It was 9.1 millimeters on Wednesday, July 22nd. So I went home and I started doing fertility massage. I read if you massage your reproductive organ, you have much more blood flow, and much more blood flow makes your follicles grow faster, and it will also help you with your uterine lining. So I was here on the floor, massaging away. I mean, just like this, I was massaging, not too soft but not too strong, on my ovaries. I was just doing this motion, just like round and round, and on the other side, and I was on the floor for a good 15-20 minutes with a little bit of olive oil. I didn't need anything fancy, and I was doing it. I was listening to my music, relaxing, and doing my massage. My husband and my kids, they think I was nuts, but what I told them what it was for, they understood, and they completely ignored me on the floor doing my thing. So I was doing that twice a day, and I was also drinking a lot of water, tons of water, because my cervical mucus dried up completely the day after I finished taking the Clomid. I was also taking red raspberry leaf, the organic one. I was drinking it twice a day. I was taking 1,000 milligrams of evening primrose. Everybody knows it helps out with your cervical mucus. And I was doing my Tussin DM, Robitussin. I was taking it twice a day. I was taking 1,500 milligrams of L-arginine, which will help you too with cervical mucus, because I never had problem with my cervical mucus. 2-3 days before I have my period, I will have lots and lots of EWCM. This cycle, I had absolutely nothing until today, like EWCM. I had watery CM, but nothing like before. So I went back on Friday, 2 days later, to check my follicles again. And my follicles, we'll be talking only about my right side, okay? So my follicles went from a 9.1 millimeters on Wednesday to a whopping 17 millimeters in 2 days. I was like, holy crap, what is going on? My follicles grew 8 millimeters in 2 days. Usually your follicles will grow only 1 to 2 millimeters a day. So this is the picture of the Friday. Look at this big guy. 17 millimeters. Look at it. 17 millimeters. And my uterine lining went from a 4 to a 5 in 2 days. Not the best. It grew only 0.5 millimeters a day. Not very good. So I kept on doing my massage. gosh, I kept on taking my tea, kept drinking lots of water, but I stopped taking my evening primrose. I stopped taking the Robitussin, but I was still taking my L-arginine because it's really good for eggs. It's not just for this cycle, it's for, whatever you're taking today, you're not gonna see result from it this cycle. You might see result from it after 5-6 months. So that's why I suggest, if you wanna have good eggs, you have problem with follicles growth, or you have problem with producing eggs, if you have to start right away. And when you start, don't think you're gonna see result the same month, because it takes months and months and months. So that was on Friday. I had a 17 millimeters. Some people, they ovulate with a 17 millimeters follicle. But I was thinking about doing the trigger shot with HCG. When I was back home, my doctor prescribed me Ovidrel the month before I came here. But because I couldn't buy it that same day, it became too late, because it will take them 2 days at my pharmacy to order the trigger shot, and to come to a province, it will take 2 days. So I went too late. I ovulated the following night, so I couldn't take it. So my doctor wanted me to take Ovidrel, and Ovidrel would have cost me $130 or $125. And Ovidrel, Pregnil, whatever you call them, they are all human chronic gonadotropin. They are all the same thing, HCG. So I came here, I could not find Ovidrel. I looked, I tried. I couldn't find Ovidrel, I couldn't find Pregnil. So I could find HCG, everybody's taking them. It's the, what did you call them again? It's not the brand name. So I could find it, and guess how much it cost me? It cost me a total of like $14. Yes, I know. So I did take it. No, let's wind back. So I was thinking of taking that shot, and I was on the fence with it. Do I do this? Do I that? Because I know that I ovulate every month by myself. I do ovulate on my own. So I thought, with the follicle, I wanted the follicle to grow, and it's growing. I probably will ovulate by myself. So I went back on Monday, July 27th. So I went the first time on the Wednesday, and 2 days later, Friday, and I didn't go the next day on Saturday. Sunday, everything was closed, so I went back on Monday, 27th. So my follicles went from a 17 millimeters to a whopping 20 point something, almost 21 millimeters. I mean, holy cow, it's big. There it is. You can see it here. Huge follicle, and it also, you can see the egg. It's just a tiny speck of shiny thing on it, because they can see that on the ultrasound. That's why I love where I went, because she was talking to me the whole time, and I was asking her questions. She doesn't speak much English, but she can, say whatever I could understand, I should say. So my follicles grew to 21 millimeters. I mean, holy Moses. So because I talked to her about my idea of doing HCG, that day she was asking me, did you do the trigger? I said, I didn't, because I don't know. I don't want to overstimulate. She said to me, I cannot give you advice, but you cannot overstimulate because you have one dominant follicle. There's nothing else in your right ovary. You have one that is 21 millimeters. And that's all I needed to hear. So I left. I went straight to a pharmacy, and I bought my HCG. I came home, and I was still thinking, do I take it? Do I not take it? I did not buy it knowing for sure that I was going to take it. I know it was not a lot of money. I'll buy it. If I decide to do it, I do it. If I don't do it, I can throw it out or do whatever with it. I would not be at loss. So I came home and I started to talk to my husband about it. I started because, like I said before, he is a health freak. He doesn't want us to take an Advil. He doesn't want us to take anything that has any kind of medication in it. I started talking to him about, do you know how when you're pregnant, how the embryo produces tons and tons of HCG. This is what HCG is, and he is a biologist. He knows. So I said, it's not something that's really bad. I decided to do. So he said, why would you do that? If you ovulate by yourself, I don't see why you're doing it. If I were you, I wouldn't do it. But he knew he was not so negative about it, because he knows HCG, it's something our body produces, the kids, placenta produce. So he said, if I were you, I wouldn't take it, but it's up to you. So my kids were freaking out, Mom, don't do this, don't do that, our doctor's not here, don't, because they saw the needles, everybody was freaking out. So I went in my room and I lay down for a minute thinking, what do I do, because I just did an OPK and I saw I was just about to ovulate. It was coming so close. That night I would have the full surge, because the test line was coming so darn close to the control line. So I said, okay, it's a matter of minutes to do the trigger. So I got up, I didn't say anything to anybody, took my little box and I mixed everything. The minute I started mixing it, I know that I would take it. So I mixed everything and made sure that I looked, because if there's any particles in the liquid, you do not take it. If you see any little thing looking like a little dust or whatever, you do not take it. So I looked and everything was clear, everything was good to go. And I just cleaned myself, the side of my belly, and then, it's a Band-Aid. You don't pull it slowly, you just rip it off. I just take out, bam, seconds. I took it. It didn't hurt. I have tons of fat on my belly, so I just poke and clean, and it was gone. So right after I took it, I started freaking out. I said, God, what did I do? I can't believe I did that. But I did it. So that's what I did, guys. It's 27 minutes and I'm still not done talking. It's a long story. So what I will do, I will make another video right now to tell you what happened to me after I did the shot. Oh my God, I was freaking out. What happened to me after the shot, I'll let you know soon. Thanks for watching.